Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. First, I just want to say I hope you're having a lovely spring thus far and you all are doing well. Today's video is going to be a little different than what I usually do. Today marks 1 year since I graduated from UNT with my bachelor's degree in flute performance. I cannot believe it's already been a year, and now I have my first degree in what I love, which is music. When I graduated, the world pandemic was well underway, and I had to learn to get creative with my music, as a lot of us had to do. Despite the circumstances, I am proud to take what I have learned and apply it to my playing now. So now, since it has been a year since my graduation, I decided to make a video focused on reflection and progress. And by that meaning, I'm going to react to one of my earlier performances and play the piece again now to see how I sound now compared to then. So without further ado, let's get started. So as you all know, I've been playing the flute for 13 years now. I started back in 2008 at the age of 10 in 5th grade. In the beginning days of my playing, meaning elementary school, middle school, 9th grade, I mostly performed in band and did solo evaluations for Certificate of Merit in my lessons. If you don't know what Certificate of Merit is, it's a program run by the Music Teachers Association in California, and it helps music students train their skills in performing, music theory, and oral skills. Besides that, I didn't do a lot of extensive solo playing in this stage of my music playing. Then sophomore year of high school came around. I was level 6 in Certificate of Merit, and I earned a high enough score that qualified me for both the MTAC Branch Honors Recital, a regional event, and the MTAC State Convention in Los Angeles that year, 2014. And it was a huge honor to perform at a large flute event in California, because I've never done that before at that age. I performed in a recital with several other flutists who qualified as well at different levels. This is one of the first solo performances I did that A, got recorded, and B, I earned to perform, which was super exciting for me. For this performance, I played the Polonaise by Johann Sebastian Bach, arranged for flute and piano. I was 16 years old when I did this performance. Honestly, I don't know what to expect because I haven't watched this video since I recorded it back in 2014. So, looks like we're gonna find out together. Okay, enough stalling. Let's go watch. Okay, put my earbuds in. Let's get started. Little me, 16 years old. Okay, the dynamic contrast, okay. Oh, the technical flubs. I was trying so hard to be steady and not rush the heck out of those runs. Do I do the repeat here? I don't remember if I do. No, I skipped the repeat. Okay. First, I gotta say that was a big nostalgia trip. Because I remember being at that age, feeling so excited because this was my first solo performance that I earned. And I was ready to do it. I was ready to do it. Even though I was excited, I could tell looking at this video I was still kind of uncomfortable performing in front of people. Because I didn't do it a whole lot. So I could tell I was a bit nervous, and it kind of showed in my playing. I could tell I loved what I was doing, even at that age. Like, I was still attempting to be very musical and trying to sound beautiful with my tone and my dynamics and my phrasing. But at the same time, yeah, I could tell I was a younger player, because listening back to this, I remember the old habits I had when I played. Yeah, I know listening back to this, hearing my tone, like, I could tell I was tense, especially here. My embouchure was definitely much tighter back then, and because of that, I could hear my tone sounded a lot more confined, a little smaller. And that's because the corners of my embouchure were so tight back then. And that's not a good thing if they're tight, because then the air can't pass through the cheeks. It just gets stuck behind those corners. And I remember that was a huge habit I had to break when I finally called it out, and I had to learn to loosen the cheeks and let the air pass through. A big thing I definitely noticed was my technique was something back then. I say that because listening back, I remember at that age, when I did any sort of technical run, I would always clench the flute with all my might, to the point where my fingers would always collapse. And that is not good when you're playing, because A, your hands are going to hurt like crazy by the end of the performance, and B, you're not going to be able to move as freely because you're so tight, you're so tense. So I remember when I caught that habit, I really had to work on loosening up and let my fingers relax when I do technical runs. I also remember learning this piece at that age. I had to really learn to be steady during those technical runs. Because I remember when I used to practice this, I would always rush the heck out of them. I would not study the scales and actually work out what I was doing at the time. Pro tip, actually studying your runs and seeing what scale pattern they are, what arpeggio pattern they are, what rhythmic pattern they are, it makes a difference, because then it actually gives you a roadmap of what you're doing when you're doing a technical run. I think overall, this performance was pretty okay for a 16-year-old who was just beginning to take music seriously. I liked my attempts for musicality. I liked my dynamic contrast. I liked how I was trying to break out of my shell and to not be fearful of performing a solo in front of a bunch of people. And of course, that also helps with experience, because now I've done it more often now, both on camera and for a live audience. And I say doing it a few more times does help get over my nerves when you're performing, for anything, really. Yeah, I could definitely say back then I definitely had a lot of bad habits with my embouchure, my tone, my technique. A lot of bad habits that I didn't know how to break at that point. But thankfully, after many years of taking lessons and a lot of practice, I've worked on, and I'm continuing to work on, staying loose and staying relaxed and actually study the music and see what you're working with. Overall, I thought it was really fun to watch an old performance of mine and get the nostalgia trip and see where I was at the age of 16, and now I'm 23, and seeing where I am now. Oh, 16-year-old Ali, if only you knew. If only you knew one day you would actually go to a fabulous music school and study what you love. And now you have a degree in it. So now that I've reacted to this early performance of this piece, I'm going to try playing this piece again. I'm hoping that everything I've learned about flute, technique, and tone has improved since then. So without further ado, let's play the piece. enjoyed my little impromptu performance. My final thoughts comparing then to now. I can definitely say I've gotten more comfortable performing solos for recitals, audiences, a camera, through frequent opportunities and experience. My technique, I will say, has gotten better, and my hands feel more relaxed now. I feel like I can still improve in technique, but it has improved over 7 years of lessons and practice. My tone now feels more full, now that I've learned to loosen my embouchure corners and blow air through my cheeks and relaxing my oral cavity as if I were singing. It definitely makes a difference. Practicing your scales, your arpeggios, any technical exercise makes a difference when you're doing fast runs, because then it gives you a roadmap of what you're doing. I've also learned to just enjoy myself when I perform, and I'm glad I'm still playing now, and I will continue to do so. And there you go, that concludes this week's video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little nostalgia trip. I would like to hear your thoughts on my improvement from this comparison, as well as, are there any pieces you would like me to revisit? I also would like to ask you, what are some pieces you would like to revisit? I would love to know. If you want to see more of me, be sure to follow me on Instagram at @LangleyFlute, and be sure to click here to subscribe to my channel. My last video is up there, and I will see you all very soon. Bye!